Darren, you've been working with couples for over 20 years and presented hundreds of workshops on how to make love last.
I know, and it seems like every couple's goal is to figure out how to make love last a lifetime.
How do you make your relationship great without having to change partners?
Boy, isn't that the number one question everybody wants to know? Well, the interesting thing is falling in love is easy. It seems like every couple that comes in to see me or to see a therapist talks about how much there was passion and attention and magical thinking and they couldn't wait to see each other. But science has proven that this kind of in love stage wears off. And people often wonder, like, well, how do I keep it going forever? Well, a lot of couples have figured this out. And we've learned that the happy couples have found strategies to keep their love alive and that they realize that the relationship does take some effort.
What's their secret?
Well, Dr. John and Julie Gottman, who are really famous for studying couples and actually have discovered that with just watching a couple for 15 minutes discuss a problem, that they can, this is unbelievable, that they can predict if they're going to get divorced or stay together and be happy with 95% accuracy just on that 15-minute conversation.
How's that possible?
Well, it's taken 40 years of research of watching couples and putting many couples have allowed themselves to be put under the microscope for sometimes 20 years, and they followed them and watched their relationship, and they figured out the recipe for making couples happy to make love last a lifetime.
Is that all?
Well, it's interesting because what John and Julie noticed is that the first casualty of a long-term relationship or couplehood is the fun and passion goes out of the relationship. And it seems like how they originally started is disappeared. It's like they got caught up in all the busyness of life and the logistics, and they just lost touch with each other.
So what about conflict?
Well, we also found that watching happy couples and not so happy couples is that conflict was inevitable, but combat was optional. It was really how they talked about the problem that made the difference.
What about kids? This seems like this changes so much.
Of course, when you have kids, you think, hey, this is going to make our relationship so much better. But what we've discovered through the research is that in 70% of the relationships out there, once they bring their baby home, the satisfaction in the relationship goes down.
So what did the other 30% do?
Well, you'd have to come to the workshop to find that out because there's so much to say about this very problem and how to keep a love alive.
What other problems are couples facing today?
Well, I've noticed that as couples come to therapy, they are complaining a lot about their partner almost spending more time on their screens and turning away from them. It's kind of like the modern day affair almost, that partners seem to be losing touch with how to communicate and talk with each other.
So what is the number one problem of couples coming to therapy?
Well, every single couple almost that comes in to see us at Best Marriages talks about having communication problems. They just seem to, unfortunately, lack the skills on how to work through problems and issues and how to bring up stuff without their partner getting defensive or stonewalling or shutting down.
How do we learn this?
Well, luckily, there is a workshop, and it's called The Art and Science of Love, a couples workshop. And it was designed by the Gottmans based on this 40 years of research. And during this workshop, couples figure out effective methods on how to improve their friendship, to get closer, to improve intimacy and passion, and also 6 skills on how to work through conflict and to bring up stuff without their partner shutting down.
This workshop is all about falling in love again, but with the same person.
You got it.